Hello and welcome to the Josué Hernandez podcast, where I talk to people about their success stories to understand how they did it and to learn from them. Today I'm talking to Franck Giovannini, the chef and co-owner of Restaurant de l'Hôtel de Ville in Crissier, Switzerland, a three-Michelin-star establishment and one of the most celebrated restaurants in the world. Franck was named Chef of the Year by Gault&Millau in 2018 and is a leading voice in contemporary haute cuisine. This is the Josué Hernandez podcast, and now this is my conversation with Franck Giovannini. Hello, Franck.
Hello.
Thank you very much for your time. I know that you have a busy schedule, so I really appreciate that you gave you some time to ask you some questions and to have a nice conversation. And it is an honor to be here with you.
Wonderful.
Yes. How do you feel of having to do these interviews when in reality your main job is in the kitchen?
I know. Well, I'm kind of getting used to it sometimes. It happens sometime, and it's always I don't have a problem. I enjoy to share a bit of our passion and how we are working every day. So I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, so you enjoy it. Nice to hear.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I wanted to connect with the place where we are right now. This is a very reputed place in the world, and this museum has a lot of evidence about all the accomplishments that have been achieved. Could you please tell me a bit more about this museum that you have in the restaurant?
Well, history is unbelievable and unique. Sometimes even the people in the region doesn't realize that that's the only restaurant in the world who's got 3-star Michelin with 4 chefs in a row. That's unbelievable. And all 4 of us work together. I've been here 30 years this year, my God. And so I work with Mr. Giaudet, Mr. Rochat, and Mr. Violier. And then I had that idea a few years in the past and say, okay, well, all this used to be in boxes somewhere. And I had that room available. And then they just finished renovation of the room just before we closed 6 months for COVID. So I had a lot of time. And I'm very proud of it because I did it myself. And to me, it's an unbelievable homage about everything happened here, and especially about the 4 chefs who were here in this restaurant. So it's a great place for me for meetings, for when I have journalists, and when some customers are very sensitive coming here, because I have a lot of customers coming here who had dinner with all 4 of us. So it's a great place to me, and then I hope I'm not finished finding stuff to fit in here. But it's a very, again, it's a nice homage about everything happened here.
Yes. And why do you think that this place has been able to sustain that level for so long? What do we have in here that makes it so magical?
I don't know, something special here. But it's a really, what happened in all 4 of us, like I said, worked together. Every chef who took over this restaurant was here for a long time. Okay, Mr. Giaudet was, when he started here in 1965, there was just a bistro of Crissier. There was the small dining room upstairs was the post office. So there was really a town hall bistro of Crissier. And then end of 60s, he started doing something different, new cuisine at the time. So he created something new. But Mr. Rochat was here 16 years before he took over. Benoît Violier 15, and for myself, that wasn't planned this way, of course, when Benoît Violier passed away. When I was here for 21 years already. So all 4 of us worked a long time together, and we managed to learn that passion and that exigence to make that every day, twice a day, and to keep that passion about what we are doing.
And now that you mentioned Mr. Girardet, I was wondering, how did he build this place? Because he's the one that started something, this thing, right?
Of course. Well, before there was his parents, mom and dad. And again, small bistro, nothing, quality bistro, I heard. And then his dad passed away in 1965, so he came back to help his mother. And then the first few years was still the bistro, and then at one point, the administration, post office, everybody went away, so he bought the building. And he always remember, he said in 68, he had, with a friend, he went to France and had a dinner at Bocuse and Trois Gros. And he thought, oh, wow, something happening here. They're doing something different. So I want to change what I'm doing. And he started something totally new, because when he started it, there wasn't nothing like that in Switzerland. He's the first one in Switzerland to start doing great cuisine with unbelievable produce. He's the first one to bring fresh seafood every day. So there was something new at this time.
So do you think that he, or maybe if he was in contact with Bocuse to learn how to do this? The same
I
thing?
think they were great friends with Bocuse and Robuchon and Trois Gros. All those guys were friends. And then, but of course, he had something special. You cannot do something like that just because you ask somebody how to do it. He had Mr. Girardet had his gift, something to bring to say, okay, let's do something different. So I think he learned a lot with on his own.
Okay. And I am curious to hear from you. What would you do if you had to start from scratch? If you get a new place like he did, Monsieur Girardet, and you have to start from scratch, what are the first 3 things that you would do to get started?
I don't know. I think it's difficult with all the knowledge I have here now. Yeah, of course, I remember when I was 20, and you don't know anything when you're 20 years old. So I was lucky and fortunate to work here with those unbelievable chefs before me. But I think the first thing is the main thing we learn here to, first of all, to buy the best produce possible. That's the basic. To buy the best vegetable, the best produce, the best seafood. And then to kind of respect that produce, trying to bring his best of it without mixing in too much with too many different flavors, too many different. We have here a simple cuisine flavor-wise. We do a lot of work. I love details. I love it. It's a huge amount of work on every plate. I like to make it look nice, but it's never against the flavor. And that's the respect to me is the best word about this place, because we respect our produce, our customers, because we're here all the time. Same thing. I'm always here. I never miss one day of work. You cannot come here and not see me. And it's something customers enjoy because, well, you come here, you want to see the chef. And again, for us, it's a matter of respect to people. So I think I would start with those main things, the best produce, and then again, to be here all the time. For my customers, but also for my team.
Okay, so 2 elements are crucial: to be here all the time, and also to get the best ingredients.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And if you, let's say that you started your own restaurant and you have the best ingredients, you have a good team and everything, and you get to 2 Michelin stars. This is a very personal question that I wanted to ask you. How do you get the 3rd one? How do you get to the 3rd one?
I don't know. I think Michelin is Michelin is a big secret thing. We don't know anything about Michelin much. We don't know if they come. We don't know when they come. And it's good this way. But same thing, we don't have like a point. What do you need to do to get 3 stars? Nobody really tell you how to get 3 stars. I think of course it's a huge amount of little details. Details is the best. First of all, regularity. It's important. You have to be good twice a day. You cannot say, okay, we're good on Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, well, twice a day you have to perform. You have to be good. And I think again, quality of produce, quality of cooking, of plating, of seasoning, all that put together make a difference to have 3 stars.
Yes, and when you mention all of this, I can see all the variables that come into play, and I think it is very difficult to be able to control all those variables to get excellence to reach a 3-star restaurant. But here, what I am wondering is, you need to have a special personality or a love for what you do, and I would like to know how was this love originated for you, this passion? Where did it start?
Well, I think, well, you just one thing, you talk about control and to make sure everything, all those details are right. Well, the best thing of controlling that is, again, to be there. If I start not being here all the time, well, when you're not there, even though I trust my team, but you know what's happening. So because we are here all the time, makes also a big difference. And this place, all the chefs before me were here all the time. That's why, and I'm convinced that's why this place works so well for so many years, because we are all here all the time. For me, I was lucky to, when I started this in apprenticeship, I was 15 years old. I thought, I'm lucky because it's my thing. I don't think you know before you do it. I always want to do something around food. First, I want to be a baker. I love bread. And that's what I wanted to do. But then I started, and then maybe I didn't start in the right place. But I thought, well, every day at the same hours, you do the same thing. That was really a little... and then I started trying cuisine, and I said, okay, why not? Maybe something I like to do because I like that transformation of the produce. I like the reaction, because twice a day, you have the results of your work already. Somebody who build a building, he needs month and year to see his work finished. Me, twice a day as a result of my job. And then I'm very lucky and fortunate, because after 6 months of apprenticeship, I thought, well, I love what I'm doing. And I'm lucky, I think, because some people don't know at 15 what they want to do. So the passion was there right away. And so far, it's still here. That's my only fear. Then one day that passion went away, and then every day is something difficult for me to come to work. So far, I'm very happy every morning to they get in my kitchen. So
Yes.
so far so long.
And that is something that I identified when I was preparing for this interview, when I was reading more about you, that you went to l'Auberge de la Couronne with Claude Joseph to do your apprenticeship there.
Very lucky, a great chef.
Yes.
Very human, and first in the beginning, right away, we were doing two cuisine. We had the bistro when you learn the basics, and we already had a small dining room with gastronomic cuisine. Right away, I started doing kind of both,
Okay, and he was friends with Monsieur Girardet.
Yeah, he worked here.
He worked here.
Yeah.
So it's almost like if you got into a place that was already directing you to this place, right? You could have found an apprenticeship somewhere else, but you found it there. How did you get the opportunity to work there?
Well, I'm very lucky. First, I started in another place for the first few months, and then that wasn't doing good at all because everybody went away. The chef was a horrible place. But I had a teacher at school. When I talked to him, I said, "What should I do?" He said, "Well, I have a friend who just started his new restaurant. He would be happy to take an apprentice." So because of that teacher, I got lucky to start there. And then because with my apprenticeship chef who used to work here, I was lucky to be able to go to New York with Chef Greg Koons, who was an unbelievable Swiss chef. We also work here in Mr. Girardet. So that's funny because the two places I worked before, I always thought to myself, I never want to go to work to Crissier because I heard stories or difficulty was, or Mr. Girardet is a genius, but he was used to get yelled at a lot, and that was very hard.
Which was traditionally, it is like this, right?
It was normal at this time. So I always thought to myself, I never want to go there. It's too difficult, and I want to. It's not for me because it's only my character. I don't like to scream. I don't like that. So, but then when I went back from New York, he said, "Well, maybe you should try because Mr. Girardet won't be here forever. So maybe if you can be lucky to be here to work with him a little also." And I got lucky to get a spot right away.
And the place in l'Auberge de la Couronne, was there a lot of people trying to get in there? And it was through contacts that you got in there? Or it was just luck that you were?
It was just luck. And he just started. I think that was his second year. Then he opened the restaurant. He was young. And then I was his first apprentice. He didn't have an apprentice before. So I was the first one. And
what happened to this place? Is it still there?
No, well, he retired. Okay. But then he closed the restaurant and nobody took over after him. So it's a shame, but the restaurant is closed now.
Okay.
Since last, 4 years, I think.
Here's a very philosophical question. Do you think that you would be managing a three-Michelin-star restaurant if you didn't go there?
What do you mean?
Like if you didn't go and do your apprenticeship in l'Auberge de la Couronne, do you think that right now, at this moment in your life?
Of course not. No. Of course, you need that. You need to do what we are doing now. Of course, you need skills and love and all that, but you need also luck to be working with chef. Because without Claude Joseph, I wouldn't be going to New York. I wouldn't come here. It's all going together. And to be honest, I never wanted to run the place. Even when I was here, I worked 20 years with Benoit Violier, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be the boss. First of all, we only had 3 years difference. He was 3 years older, so that was not enough to wait until he retired to take over after him, but I was happy like that. And I never want to be the boss.
Okay, yes, I understand. But, okay, so after l'Auberge de la Couronne, you went to Canada. I saw that you went to Canada to work for a little bit, and then to New York, and then you came back to Switzerland, correct?
Well, Canada, I did 1 year. Well, I had a job in New York. I was taking English class 1 hour a week on Monday on my day off. And I thought, well, I'm pretty good in English. And one day, the ladies from Human Research for the hotel in New York called me. I didn't understand a word she said. So the chef called me back and said, okay, I'm sorry, but they don't want to give you a visa. You are 18 years old to come to New York by yourself without speaking English good enough. That won't work. So I'll keep the spot for you for later, but you have to learn English a bit better. So my father had a friend in Canada, in Vancouver Island. So he was doing a catering company. So I said, okay, let's go there. I was supposed to go for 3 months. I stayed a year. But at least I learned English. And then after my English was good enough, I was able to go to New York.
Okay. And then you came here to Switzerland, right? And when you came here and you worked here for the first time, what marked you the most? Do you have a specific memory that you said?
I always worked with chefs who had high standard, expectation, and rigueur, we said in English.
But,
the
rigor, I think it's rigor.
Yeah, it's everything has to be perfect, even though the way you cut, the way you clean, the way you clean you are working, all that. But when I got here, there was a higher level. Everything, the way you dressed, if the thing wasn't right, everything used to be
Perfect.
yeah, everything, staff meal, everything was so. I'm like, wow, that's a very expectation here for Mr. Girardet, so high, and that's the first thing I got very impressed in the beginning.
And that is very remarkable because you worked at the restaurant in the Ritz in New York, correct? So I guess they already had a good level.
Of course.
And then you came here and you were like, wow. So
that was even higher.
Wow.
And, yeah, everything. Even though they choose the produce every morning, even though you buy onions, if one onion is like this, well, it goes back. So
yeah.
But that's why this place the quality is there, because everything is important.
Yeah, everything. It's not only the food, but also the way you dress.
Of course.
The way servers say things to the customers, the way they present the dishes and everything.
Now you get to the kitchen, 25 people in the kitchen, all dressed the same, in white, with a tie, with a hat.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah. And then you spent some years here, and then you went to Boston, right?
Yeah, well, I did 4.5 years, and then for me, I did my time, and then my sous chef in New York became a good friend of mine, an American guy, and he took over a chef position, and he was looking for a sous chef. So for me, that was first opportunity to have responsibility in the kitchen. Plus, in between, when I started here, I met my wife. So I said to her, well, let's go together. Work a little bit in United States. So yeah, I left a year and a half.
Okay.
And great experience. I never worked so much, I think. I used to tell my wife, when we go there, we're going to be able to spend some time together. I was at work all the time. Oh, my God. But great experience. And I love the chef. I was there with him also. And then I came back here, and with never the idea to come here. But Benoît Violier also left and came back. And when I came back from Boston, he was here as a chef. The former chef and sous chef Mr. Rocha opened a catering company. So they just left for the catering company, so there was a sous chef position. And I didn't want to come here. I was supposed to go to Geneva, but I had to wait 3 months. And when I came here, I just came here to say hello. And Benoît said, okay, I need a sous chef, you can start tomorrow. I said, okay, why not? And that was, 25 years ago.
Wow. What an experience. And then time went by, and since then, you've been here. But it was in around 2018 that you became the head of this place, right?
2016, when Benoît Violier passed away.
Okay.
Well, I became the main chef. Of course, his wife was still here for a couple of years, but I was the chef who was running the restaurant. So since 2016, I had to step up and took over.
Yeah, and with a lot of respect, I wanted to ask you if you were not afraid of taking the lead of this place after what happened to Benoît.
I was. Well, one thing was, I was sous chef here for 12 years with Mr. Rocha, and then Benoît Violier was a kitchen chef, and then I did almost 4 years with Benoît Violier as a kitchen chef. For that time, he would let me run the kitchen. I would run totally the kitchen, hiring people, all that, even new menus. We would talk it together. He would approve every dish, of course, but he would let me bring my ideas, so when plus we never closed the restaurant. He passed away. We closed Sunday, Monday. He passed away on Sunday. We opened on Tuesday. Well, I remember when at 12 o'clock, I had to put myself behind the pass and ask for the first table. I thought to myself, what the fuck I'm doing here? What do we do? Do we run away from this thing, or what do we? I was talking to my wife. I don't know what we're gonna do. But I never looked long term. I thought, okay, we're here on Tuesday, and then we're here Wednesday, and we'll see what happens. And then after a year like that, we had to take a kind of a decision. Do we take over after Madame Violier leaves, or do we do something else? And I have no regret now. We are very proud and happy than what we've done, and we managed to keep that place together. I know if I would have run away, well, that wouldn't be the same. Nobody's irreplaceable, but I was the only one with so many years of experience in this restaurant, and then even also the customers. Customers knew me a little, was the regulars. And one thing was important, I thought, when I took over the restaurant, some people would say, well, who is that guy who's going to take over that restaurant? Well, that guy has been here more than 20 years and worked with Mr. Girardet, and that makes a difference. I say, oh, okay, he's been here long enough. to take over. So, but yeah, afraid. I'm still afraid. That didn't change.
Yeah. And that's interesting that one of the first things that people started asking is, who is this guy?
Yeah.
The pressure started coming at you. I guess you thought about this when you made your decision of taking care of this place.
Well, pressure, you need it, but it has to keep
Exposure.
It's to be
more.
positive, not too negative. You know,
Yeah.
I sleep very well at night. I don't sleep a lot, but I sleep very well at night. But pressure about, first of all, my pressure is about my customers. I have 100 people coming here every day. Well, my mission is to have those 100 people living happy. Plus, of course, you have a lot of customers coming here forever, so they can compare easily. Well, we are here with Mr. Jardin, Mr. Rochard, Mr. Julien, now you. So, and then you have all that, well, Michelin and all that, of course. Well, nothing much you can do, just doing your job right. And that's even more difficult, I think, because now you got all that internet thing, and then we have all that. Everybody can write down whatever they want about you. That hurts so bad when somebody writes a very bad comments or on TripAdvisor, all that mess. But it's part of the game. But I'm okay. I can manage that kind of. I don't want to say easily because, of course, when something is wrong, when something is bad, well, it hurts, and it's important that it hurts because I think to myself, as soon as it doesn't hurt anymore, either it's because you don't care, and it's not the case, or either to me it's arrogance, you know, and you get like, well, I'm the best, and it's not my case. I hate that. I don't feel that. So people say, oh, chef, you're a star. I'm not a star because I don't feel like one. You know, I'm a very simple guy from a small town in Jura, and I don't feel that star thing. And I think people like that because when I go in dining room, same thing. We always hear, and after each service, I go see my guests in the dining room. Well, people kind of like to see a normal guy in front of them, you know, not somebody with a head like this. And I'm very simple and normal, and people like that, I think.
Yes, totally. I think that's something that characterizes you a lot. And I was wondering, going back to that moment where you took over the place because of the passing of Benoit, did you change anything in your approach to make sure that you would get alarms if you were getting too tired or too stressed or something like that? Because the risk is always there, no? There's too much pressure and exposure.
Well, me, no. I didn't change anything. I don't... Sometimes when I think about it, that's kind of all I do. That thing. Every day, well, first 5 days a week, I don't even go home. I sleep here because it's easier to walk upstairs. Half of my weekend, I'm somewhere because I have a obligation or something. Or, that's good. I have vacation. Vacation are very... I don't touch vacation. Vacation is free time for me. But even though I got 2 days off at home, I bring my homework with me. I work on my menus and all that. So, but nothing... I didn't change anything to myself. But I have a good... My wife is a good thing to tell me. Be careful on this, because she knows me for so many years. So people around me help me a lot, because I have a very close friend and family to make sure I stay okay. I think because of them, I was able to do all that. My wife takes care of everything, even at home. I have 2 kids. Now they're growing up, but I was very lucky. Then she took care of all that, all the professional, the personal thing. She took care of everything, the house, the kids. All that. I was there, but not very often. But when I was there, I was really there with them. But because of her, that helped. Because if you have somebody with you who doesn't understand all that, who doesn't make sure, if you have trouble at home, well, they want to help you at work. To me, I think so. I was very lucky. Then, so far, she helped a lot, because all the worries I have here at work, I don't have them at home, and I never had to choose between my job and my family, because my wife understood all that. There's so many chef people I work with, who's not the same. At one point, they have to choose between couple or job, and I can understand that. Because nobody can understand that you work all the time, that you there on the evening, you work on weekends. But I think that's why I managed to keep kind of, not going too crazy about all this.
Yes. And I also heard that you're very good at differentiating. Now I'm at work, now I'm resting, and you're able to disconnect from both, right?
I'm lucky for that. When I'm not here, if on Sunday I'm at home, I don't think about my job. If I don't have to work on my job. Same thing during the week. Every morning I'm start at 8 and I never leave before midnight. But when I walk upstairs at midnight, when I close the door, when I shut the door, I think about something else. I think I'm lucky, because some people, they go to bed, they think about job, and then if I go to bed, I don't think about my job. Otherwise, I don't sleep. So I'm able to split them, and I think that's why I don't go too crazy.
Do you ever dream that you're cooking?
No.
Never.
I don't remember my dream too much. Rarely. I don't know. I don't sleep a lot. I think 5.5, 6 hours maximum. But I sleep very well. I'm very lucky. I never wake up. I never.
Wow, interesting. Okay, and now going back a bit to the restaurant, there have been 3 chefs before you. You're the 4th one, and I think, well, at least from what I read, to get like the recognition that you have, you need to sustain the excellence, but at the same time you need to innovate. You need to insert your personality. I wanted to ask you, how do you differentiate yourself from the 3 previous chefs? What do you have different here?
One thing we kept, but I think all 3 of us, after Mr. Giovannini, that his main philosophy was, again, best produce possible, but simple flavor and then we can understand. That we kept here. We don't have 15 flavors in one dish. We try to keep it simple. We like to understand, to recognize the produce. So, because that's easy to make original. You mix whatever you want. No, flavor-wise, it stays simple. But my thing, I brought a lot of. I like details. I like the wow effect of a beautiful plate arriving. So it's a huge amount of work. We never had so much details. We never have so much vegetable. I'm also very sensitive about texture. It's always something crunchy somewhere. I'm very afraid about a soft dish. So that makes it. That's a biggest evolution to me. But for the last 3, the way it look. With Benoit Violet, we started already getting lighter, getting healthier. I keep improving that part. So it's very light. We took away butter. It's no starch. It's very light. It's not a heavy cuisine. It's generous. We still like sauces, because to me a dish needs sauces to bring the main seasoning. So I think the texture, details, the way it look. Also, something very important for me. I'm obsessed with repetition. So when I create a menu, it's never twice the same thing coming back. Same produce, same flavors, same vegetables, same plate. So everything looks. That's why I do everything on paper first. So everything looks different. So I think to me it's an evolution, but we kind of keep the tradition on flavor and produce. Then we learn Mr. Giovannini.
Okay, yeah, I read, or at least I saw online, that you said that creating a menu for you is like a puzzle, because you don't like having the same ingredients twice,
exactly.
Correct?
Sometimes I go to a restaurant, I have 3 times phenol. I'm like, here it will never happen. If people don't change anything, never twice the same thing. That's why it's very important. And I go all the way. If you read the menu, you don't have twice the same word. I go all the way.
Is there somebody that influenced on you to think like that? Are there any chefs that have had a great impact on you that have influenced your cuisine?
Well, unfortunately for me, I don't go enough to other restaurants because the time. I have vacation sometime when we try to fit some great restaurant. But other than that, because I don't miss one day of work, I don't have much time to go to restaurants. So I wish I could go to elsewhere to see what happened. But no, I think my main inspiration is the 3 guys who were here before me.
Yes, because you work with them for some time, right? And they give you, I guess, a lot of bases to...
Yeah, sometimes I think, because again, when I took over the restaurant, nobody is here to tell me how to do it, So I think a lot how they were doing it, how Benoit was doing it, Mr. Rocha was doing it. I see that Mr. Giovannini there, but he's getting old now, and then he's a very particular character. So I don't have anybody that I can call every day, or should I do, I had to kind of figure out kind of myself. But again, because I was here long enough, and I was lucky to work with those 3 chefs before me, I think... but I think a lot to myself, how they were doing it, and then so far it works.
Do you see sometimes any chefs that that come here to your restaurant?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of chefs come here.
They do that often, right? Like the chefs from big kitchens like this one, they go to other places to get new ideas.
I don't know if chefs go to get new ideas. When I go to a restaurant, of course we are curious, and of course when we eat something. But for myself, if I go to some restaurant, it's not to take new ideas. It's really to have fun and to enjoy the moment.
Do you judge when you go to a restaurant?
I'm an easy guy to
to please.
I'm an easy client, yeah. But because I like everything, and I just don't want to. Even though sometimes I go to a restaurant and something's not right, or I don't want to bother myself because I don't have a lot of time for that. I say, why would I get all mad and all this, because this is not. I just want to have pleasure. I just want to have fun. So sometimes put on the side a little or something not right. But so we have a lot of chefs coming here, of course, because the place is kind of course, famous for so many years, and it's always great to see another chef. It's an example, but I had Pierre Gagnère coming in a long time ago, and he's great. Pierre Gagnère is like, I don't know, he's like the Pope of cuisine now, been here forever, and he did so many great things. So it's great for me to see those chefs, because other than that, we don't have time to see each other too much.
Yes. Okay. And I asked you if there were any chefs that influenced you on the way you cook, but I also wanted to ask you if there are any countries that have influenced on the way you cook. Is it Swiss cuisine, French cuisine?
Well, I think French, of course, is the main inspiration of, especially also in that part of Switzerland, if you look at it. But of course, Italian cuisine to me is the best. The simple cuisine, regular cuisine, is the best one in the world.
After Mexican, right?
I'm
from
sorry?
Mexico. I was gonna say I said after Mexican
probably.
because I'm from Mexico.
But I don't know
But I'm
Mexican food
kidding,
too
I'm
much.
kidding.
That's the whole. I don't know Mexican food too much. So I don't think the Mexican food we have here is the right one than you have over there. But
Italian, I love Italian food. Yeah.
on a simple cuisine, they are the best. And but of course, influence here is more Italy and France, of course, because they the neighbors.
Yeah. You have a very good cuisines around Switzerland, and in Switzerland you have very good produce, I think. But the main dishes, I think that they are not very outstanding. I mean, I love eating fondue, I love eating raclette or other things, but it's you go to other countries to eat extravagant.
In Switzerland, first of all, the classic cuisine of Switzerland is kind of a mountain cuisine, if you think about it. It's everything we eat up in the mountain. And because we have such little country, with 3 different language, 3 different kind of philosophy, and especially 3 different cuisine. Because you don't eat the same thing in Zurich, than in Lausanne, than in Lugano. And I think it's unbelievable in such little country. That's why, of course, so many other countries in the world got more identity of cuisine. Here, the identity of Swiss cuisine is, mainly, like you said, cheese and mountain food.
Yes. And I also prepared like a special question. I mean, you can take your time to think about it. But I wanted to ask you, as being a Swiss chef, what would you cook if you had like a president that came from another country that has never been to Switzerland? What would be like a dish that you would like to make for this person that represents Switzerland?
Well, I think the produce is important. Of course, we have great produce, especially we have unbelievable lake fish. People don't know lake fish too much, but when you have a wild Hompe Chevalier from the lake, it's something so delicate and unbelievable. And I would do something like that because when you think fish, you think ocean. But in the lake, we have unbelievable fish. Not enough, unfortunately. Even for me to put on a menu is difficult. But that would be something, because I don't think people expect that quality fish in the lake. But that would be the main thing for me, I think.
And that's very interesting because my parents were here for Christmas, and we spent Christmas with my wife's family because she's Swiss. And it was her uncle, the one that prepared the menu, and he made a dish with, I think, 5 different types of fish from the Lac of Neuchâtel.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is such a good idea. I always think about the mountains, like, for example, rösti, cheese, and all those things. But you're right, you have big lakes, you have a lot of different fish, and it's delicious. I love filet de perche.
Yeah. No, we have some great produce, but again, identity. If you look at, I think France is an unbelievable country for cuisine, because it's a big country, first of all, but every region has got its own identity.
Yes.
Here we have some region with identity, but not as much. We're not as good about keeping our identity and knowledge, I think, in Switzerland as they do it in France.
Yeah, and it's also related to the size of the country as well, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you're the size of a region in France, maybe to a couple of regions.
Yep, because they got everything. They got mountains, they got ocean, they got lake, they got whatever you want. They got a warm climate on the south, and they got everything for food and produce. France is unbelievable, that's for sure.
Okay, and now that I asked you about a menu, what would you make to somebody that comes from abroad? I saw how you created the menu really quickly, and you thought about the fish, but I wanted to see more the process, the formal process that you go through from 0 dishes, you have nothing. You have to write the menu, and you have to go all the way to 1,000 dishes per day. What do you go through? What is the process to go from 0 to 1,000?
Well, we do so many different menus. Well, first of all, we have 5 seasons every year. We create a new season between spring and summer. We have 2 summer seasons to make sure we don't go too far with the fresh produce, because 4 seasons doesn't work too much. End of spring, beginning of summertime is difficult for some produce. So in those 5 seasons, I have 2 different menus plus a la carte. So it's already 10 menus a year. In Atom, we have a second menu with game. We do a lot of wild game here. Plus, we do a lot of special. We do seafood dinners. We do game dinners. We do Christmas dinner. I have 2 clubs. One cigar club and another club, we call it Heptameron. Those 2 clubs come 7 times a year separately. So it's 14 evenings a year with special menus. Plus, when I have some club, when I have some that already are my regular customers, I make special menu for them. So last year, I like to write it down. We did 38 different menus in 1 year. Like a cigar club menu, I just write it all down and then we do it like in one shot. Regular season is different. First of all, I have like a Bible. When we create a new menu, we take pictures and when we are finished, I put all my menu on one sheet. So I can see the whole menu, my 9 courses with dessert, so I can see it. But that sheet, I keep it for next year. Now I'm starting working on autumn season. So if you ask me what was the fish on the Découverte menu last year in autumn, I don't remember everything. So that little thing is very important for me, for creation, because I looked the year before, I looked the season before. And so my blank sheet, first I look the main produce, and then the main flavors, and then the color, vegetable, plate, and little by little, I work like that. And sometimes I did, example, yesterday morning, for an hour and a half, and this morning, I was in a good mind. So I did like, I did one menu, pretty much. Sometimes I'm working on it and I'm not on the mood. So, I quickly figure that I put it away and I'll do it later. I need to be sometimes on a good mind. But I work.
That's like an artist.
I'll almost do that every day, pretty much. Sometimes it's half an hour, sometimes it's 2 hours, but pretty much every day I open my thing and I work on my menu. And then little by little, I go like that. And sometimes one idea can come from, of course, the produce, the flavor. Sometimes it's a new plate. I have a new plate. Well, what can I do with that plate? Sometimes it's a shape. I don't know. Look, that shape looks nice. What produce can we do that? I don't know. It goes from everywhere. But I'm really working on that when I'm working on that. I see a lot of chefs talking, on weekend when I work in the forest, I think about my dish. No, I'm totally not like that. If I work in the forest on Sunday, I don't think about my job. I only work on my menu when I work on my menu.
Okay, and once you come up with the recipes, with the menu, what happens afterwards? So you give it to someone?
After I sit down my chef,
yeah,
I'm lucky to have a great team because alone you do nothing. So I have a great team around me. So my chef, I have a chef be here long enough to know what I like, especially know what I don't like. They understand quickly what I want. So we sit down with them. Okay, guys, we got to do this, like this. And then we try in the kitchen with them. I don't do the trying by myself. We do it together. So it's also a way of training them. Because some dish we do it once. Some dish I know exactly what I want. So guys, we do this. And some dish I want to try a few different technique or flavors to make sure it goes right. So we play with it a little. So, but all the physical trying I do it with the chef in the kitchen.
Okay, so you have like a period where you're not cooking for the clients. You're cooking to test the menu,
Not
like
really.
a prototype.
Well, we try to fit that during a day, but also I have 2 chefs and 2 sous chefs in the kitchen. The job is also to take time for new dishes. Sometimes they can put even doing service. Sometimes service goes well when one chef's gonna put on the side and work on the new dishes. They have to take sometimes it's in the morning. Most of the time it's in the afternoon. When they come back after the break between 4:30 to 6 o'clock, that's where we try the most. Because in the morning, all the food arrives. They don't have much time in the morning for creation. It's more in the afternoon between service.
And it's the entire team that works for that prototype, or is it only like a small team?
Well, first got to be different station. If we work on a fish dish, got a fish sous chef with the fish guys.
Okay.
The meat guys not gonna work on the fish.
So the moment when it's not a prototype anymore, when it's the real menu, and you have to go and produce 1,000 dishes,
Well,
they already know how to do it.
yeah, because then when we create a dish, if we're happy with it, um, each chef is responsible of his own section. The guy on garde manger, on the cold appetizer, I have one sous chef there. While he has two appetizer on one menu, two on the other menu, plus the a la carte. What his job after we try everything is to make recipes, to train. He has 6 people with him, to train those 6 people. Then when the day we change the menu, we always change the menu on Thursday night. It's a historical thing, and for logistic and organization, it's a great time for us. It's the middle of the week. Lunchtime would be too early. Because we got all afternoon to still finish up. And of course, the week we change the menu, I'm always here again, but I make sure I don't take any meeting or interviews the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when we change the menu, because I know I will have 2,000 questions the 3 days before the menu. And again, because we are there, one question, one thing, we're here to answer it. So, but of course, the quality of the menu has to be the same on the first day than the last day. We cannot tell the customers, well, sorry, today is the first, so it's going to be a little on the quality. We cannot. Sometimes it's a little, we adapt a few things sometimes the next day. It's never, the customer doesn't feel it. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes I have details. I'm very picky about, of course, the produce and flavor, but very, the way it looks, lead details, and sometimes something is not right for me. So I have to change it right away, because otherwise, for the next 2 months, lunch and dinner is going to be a long 2 months. If I'm not happy with one dish, we fix it right away.
And do you sometimes see things that you don't like in the prototype, and you say, let's simplify this?
Oh yeah. Or if I'm not happy with it, we don't go with it.
Okay.
We do something different. Sometimes we try things and say, okay, well, no, it's not, but we try.
Okay. Yes. And something very important here are the ingredients. Have you ever run out of an ingredient when you're in service?
Yeah, but never. Well, on the menu, first of all, we try to. Well, all the produce in Switzerland are kind of easy, and everything with grown or raised by man, it's easier, because man, that's his job, and we have all the produce we need most of the time. All the wild produce, well, sometimes, especially seafood, before I put a la carte, is small quantity. A la carte is not that. It's easier because I don't need a lot. But on the 2 menus, I need a lot of quantity. So before I change my menu, when I think about my fish or shellfish or whatever, I would call my provider to make sure it's the right time. We know season, but sometimes some reglementation change because they don't fish one fish for, like we saw with cod. They didn't fish cod for years to make sure he would grow and come back. So on the menus, I make sure and sometimes we have problem with, sometimes we have storm, but it happens a few times, very rarely. And if it happens, we have a plan B. We offer something else.
And do you have to change the cards as well?
No, if you just one dish, sometimes if I have sole on the menu, I don't have the sole, well, you say, okay, let's do turbo. And then we do the same dish with turbo, and we kind of the same, so it won't change much the thing.
And can people, has there ever been someone that identifies, oh, this is not the fish that is indicated in the menu, or not?
No, I don't think so. Because first of all, on the 2 menus, one is not written. The découverte menu is a surprise menu. So nobody knows what's in it, so easy for me. But the gastronomic menu, you can see it, so sometimes, and we would tell them, okay, we have a problem with that fish coming, we have another fish offered, same quality, same thing, won't change anything. Of course, if you come and the whole menu is different, maybe customers say, what is that? But no. And I think guests come here more for an experience. It's overall experience, more than one produce. Of course, if you come on autumn and I don't have any white truffle, people are going to be disappointed. But if you come and you have a lobster or an langoustine, I don't think it changed much the experience.
And now that you talk about the experience, how do you create an experience instead of just a dinner at a restaurant?
Well, it's an overall thing. Of course, it's the food, very important, but also it's the way you welcome. It's the way the dining room look. Everything is important. Every details. And I'm very happy when ambiance is so important for me. And again, when I started here, Mr. Jourdain, Mr. Ocha they were genius, but the human side wasn't that easy. They used to scream all the time. We never got beat up, but we got yelled at a lot. But you could feel that every staff used to be kind of like this all the time. You had that fear always. So you could feel that in the dining room because I was kind of cold and boring. Well, professional, of course, but not fun. Me, it's totally the opposite. Again, and I don't like to scream. I'm very close to all my people. I need that to be comfortable myself. Again, I'm here from 8 to midnight, but I do it with pleasure because I know I'm surrounded with happy people. Even though it's not easy what they're doing. 2 servers a day, sometimes take care of complicated customers. But at least we're doing but that's great is now ambiance in dining room. When I go in dining room, whoever come for the first time, tell me the same thing. They did not expect something like that. They expect to eat well, but they expect something very boring and cold and for rich and wealthy people, and it's totally the opposite. It's professional, of course, very important, but it's fun, it's cool. Waiters, they joke with you, they make you so comfortable, and I'm happy with that because when people leave, they say, okay, that was great because, especially young customers now, young generation, they don't want to be something cold and they want to have fun. And of course, and fun to me doesn't take away the professional part, not at all. So that's the whole experience thing. Since you walk in until you leave, we try to be careful on everything. Of course, sometimes it's mistakes. They're human, they're not machine. But most of the guests, because everything else is so, we take care of everything. For most of the customers, if it's a little mistake somewhere, it won't change anything. On the other hand, you have other customers who are never happy, who's going to look to make sure, to find a mistake, Some of them, they're only happy when they find something wrong. So, but
yes, I can.
But
see.
it's a very little part of the customers.
People.
Most of them are unbelievable and happy, and they are so happy and I'm very glad because to me the best recognition. A lot of guests when they leave here, they book for the next time, and to me that's the best reward you can have because they say, well, now we're going to try the new season. We want to come try the game. We want to come try the seafood. So it's great for me to have when they leave, they book the next visit. So to me, it's the best.
And now that you talk about the details, about there are some mistakes sometimes, but very small, maybe the customer doesn't see them. How do you control 1,000 dishes to minimize the mistakes?
Well, you cannot control everything. Mistake we can have sometimes it's a little bit too much seasoning. We have a very powerful cuisine. We like power. So sometimes it's a little too salty, let's say. When you put a little fleur de sel in the end, you put a little bit too much. So that's a little mistake we can have. And sometimes because I have a lot of details, I have a big challenge is to make sure you eat hot. So I'm very careful about the plate is very hot, the sauce is very hot, and because sometimes a lobster cannot be very hot because otherwise it's overcooked. So sometimes it's the little details we have. But again, when you have one mistake, it's the way you react to it, to fix it. That makes a difference.
Yes. Yeah. And now that you said that you cannot have a lobster that is very hot because it's overcooked, I've noticed that when you come to places like this, especially me being a customer when I came, that everything comes at the right time. Everything is at the right temperature. Do you have cameras and you're looking in the kitchen? Oh, table number 5. We need to send it now.
We don't have cameras. We have cameras in the kitchen for just the exit, and we don't have camera in the dining room because I don't think customers would be happy to know they are.
Then how
filmed.
do you know? How do you know when to send it?
Well, it's a big communication between. We have waiters. We have some waiters who don't leave the dining room. The chef de rang, for example, will be in charge of 4 or 5 different tables. Well, he never leaves the dining room. He's always there to make sure. Oh, you need water, you need bread, and then we have we call it the runners. We have some younger one who just go between the kitchen and dining room, and it's a big communication because every time they come back, table 5 is finished. Table thing. For us, the most difficult part is when somebody gets up, because that stops everything. I have my timing every time. First of all, every time a dish leaves the kitchen, I put the time on it. Every dish, every table, every dish, every time, I put the time. So 17 different table, time. Well, on the salty part, it would be 7, 8 courses, times 17 table. So I have my big board in front of me. We do all that by hand still. No computer or iPad, or we still work with paper and a pen. And so every time a dish goes, I have a time. So timing helped me make sure I don't go too fast between courses, make sure we don't forget the table. Because if after 20 minutes, they don't clean the table, somebody may forget. So this way I can manage. And it's 2 person, me and somebody from the dining room behind the pass. And to have somebody from the dining room, sometimes I can tell him, okay, well, go and check why table 5 is not finished, or nobody's here to take the platter, you take it and you go. But again, if everybody would sit down and never get up, it would be easy for us.
Okay.
Bathroom. First of all, customers always go to the bathroom when the dish is ready, but we couldn't tell them when to go to the bathroom, and they never go together. One would go, so we stop the table, and then you come back, so you start again, and it's the other one who gets up. But well, it's part of when you're sitting down in the dining room, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
We try to tell the customers. When I do cooking class in the morning, I explain that to them. And when they come back eating, they say, "Oh, chef, we listen. We got up. If you don't want to disturb the meal too much, when you finish eating, it will be 10 minutes before the next course. It's kind of a good timing. So when you finish, you get up. You know, wait 10 minutes before you get up, but that doesn't work for everybody. But again, that's why it's a lot of communication between the dining room and me to make sure. But because we put time on every dish, that helps.
Okay.
That's the only way to know where we're at.
Yeah, it's a reference point, and that's very interesting because I never thought about that. But yeah, when you stand up, all the flow changes.
Yeah.
Because you cannot send a dish, and then you have to coordinate everything and get the communication there as well.
Sometimes I put the dish on the platter, so the waiter will leave. Between the kitchen and dining room, somebody got up, so he gets to the dining room. Oh, somebody's missing, so he comes back. But it's part of the game. But that's okay. Sometimes we have to remake the dishes sometimes.
Wow.
Well, because if most of the time we don't serve a table if somebody's missing, especially if you have two. Well, sometimes I have a table of 10. One is missing for like 15 minutes. I serve the other 9. I won't put 10 langoustine in the garbage because one guy is in the bathroom for 20 minutes.
Of course.
But sometimes some dishes can wait a few minutes. Some dishes cannot wait a few minutes. It depends. But that's okay. We have a lot of dishes. Menu are kind of very long, so 10 courses. So desserts are kind of easier, a little. The cold dishes, of course. Garde manger, somebody gets up in the beginning. Well, it's okay because a cold dish can wait 5 minutes, but a hot dish cannot wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's very... I love listening about this because I work as an industrial engineer, and there are a lot of methodologies from Toyota because they are the ones that develop a lot of methodologies to improve the flows and make every process efficient. And when I hear about this, I can see the direct link between a factory that is working in lean, is called, with the Toyota production system.
I have 2 tables in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I have one big table for 6 to 8 people, and we have a big, we call it the pass. It's a big thing where all the dishes come out. So one cold side, one hot side, and I'm on the middle with my board. And on the cold side, we have 2 high chairs, and you can eat like at a bar, sitting right next to me. People love that because they're on the middle of the show.
Yeah.
They feel all that. And then sometimes in the service, they say, "Oh my God, I never thought it would be like that difficult."
Yes.
When somebody gets up, again, we have cameras in the kitchen because we can see all the outside, all the exit. If somebody is happening, but we have a camera downstairs, right here, behind the door, because behind is where we put the guest clothes.
Yes.
If somebody would steal something or whatever, but also we see the stairs coming back from the bathroom. So we're always watching that thing to make sure whoever's coming back up. So for those people, those 2 guests sitting here, they can feel all that. So for them, it's like, wow, I never thought it would be like that. For like 2.5 hours of the warm, sorry, of the warm service, it's and sometimes people don't understand. But exigent with what we are doing. Well, we have to be ready twice a day. We have to be good twice a day. We have to be there twice a day. We cannot say, okay, today, sorry, or we'll finish tomorrow. Service will last altogether 3 hours, between noon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and same thing at dinner. So it's 6 hours a day. Doing service is not, people joking around and all. It's concentration. It's all my 25 chefs, they always have the ear like this. People are amazed sometimes in the kitchen, say, "We don't hear you talking." And they all answer you yes, but because they're used to it. But so it's a lot of concentration doing service. 3 hours lunch is 6 hours a day, just for service, without mise en place, just for service. So of course it's not something made for everybody, I think.
Yeah, totally. And I could ask you questions about this all day long, but I want to respect the timing that Carmen gave us. And I prepared, no problem. I prepared 7. I prepared something new that I have never done before. Okay. And I thought it was going to be fun to do it with you.
Okay.
They are called flash questions. And I prepared 7 of them where I give you 3 options and you have to pick the one that you like the most.
All right.
If that's okay, yeah?
Yeah.
So the first one is entrée, main dish, or dessert?
Oh, main dish.
Main dish. Beef, chicken, or fish?
Fish.
Rice, potato, or bread?
Or bread.
Chocolate, vanilla, or fruit?
Vanilla.
Red, white, or rosé?
Red.
Rolex, Audemars Piguet, or Patek Philippe?
Oh my God. Oh, that's so difficult. I don't know. Audemars Piguet.
Crissier, Schloss Schauenstein, or Cheval Blanc?
All three of them. We are so different. We are so different.
Perfect. It was just to have fun to end the interview. And one final question to make a bit of connection with the focus of the podcast. I'm interviewing people that I think that have an amazing path and that have achieved success. And I like interviewing them to show people that everybody starts from zero, and that everybody can achieve success. And that, if you start things and you're perseverant, then you can get to your objective or further beyond to things that you can't imagine. And I always close my interviews by asking a philosophical question about the purpose of life. And I would like to know, what do you think that the purpose of life is, if there's one?
That's not an easy question, I think.
Yes.
But first of all, I think purpose of life is to have no regret of what you are doing. Again, if you can find something you love and surrounded with people you love, I think what else can you... to myself, I was never obsessed about money or fame, or it's not something... I think you have to be comfortable and happy with what you are doing. And you have so many opportunities now, especially now with all that world going so fast. And but I think just to find something that you feel comfortable, and it can be anything. It can be you want to be a professor, you want to be a president, or you want to be somebody who cuts the trees, whatever. If you're happy with it, but I think you have to. I think people you will be surrounded with can feel if you do it with your heart, or if you cheat. Same thing in a restaurant. A customer will understand. If you go to a restaurant and you cheat about produce, you cheat about quality or whatever, the people will feel it. People are not stupid. So I can think that on anything, especially in private life or in professional life, people around you will feel if you do it with your heart. And to me, it makes a huge difference because you can feel that. I see with all my people I'm working with, I have 95 people working with me. You can feel whoever he would go far away because he's doing it with passion and love, or if somebody is doing it just because he doesn't know, just because try to become famous.
Yeah, so being loyal to yourself will allow you to do something for passion.
Yeah, because I think if you do something for other reason, or I don't think it can work forever.
Yes.
Again, I don't want to say I'm right. I don't want to say but so far when people ask me, oh, can you work so much, or can you do all that for so many years, 30 years in that same restaurant? Well, I have no regret because I love every moment of it. Yeah. And again, that's my only fear, that one day I don't love any moment of it. And I think, you have to stop and do something else. Yeah.
You have to be loyal to yourself. If this is not what you love anymore, I guess you're gonna have to find the next thing, right?
Yeah. I think now the how do you say that? The show off of everything now becomes too much. Now you see with all that Instagram, Facebook, all that. To me, that's so ridiculous because now that's what the most important now. People has to show others. I'm a bad example for that because I don't have an Instagram and Facebook account myself. People think I'm from another planet. The restaurant is, of course, professional, but I don't have a private. But I look, because I have to say I look not to be an idiot, because I have a professional restaurant thing on my phone. And to me, I say, okay, this guy is doing this. Why do you put this on Instagram? To tell the others, see what I'm doing? I don't know. To me, that's too much. I do many things outside my job, but I don't feel the interest of throwing that everywhere to tell the other what you are doing. You know, I know what I'm doing for myself.
Yes.
Not for the others.
Yes. I understand that. Sometimes you can get lost in what is called the dark side and do it for other people instead of for yourself.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to give you a present to thank you for giving me some time to talk with you and to ask you some questions. I brought you a bottle of champagne it's called Bonnet Crank. This bottle of champagne.
Wonderful.
I am from Mexico. In Mexico, at least on my experience, we base ourselves or we decide to buy a champagne based on the label. Okay. But not always on the taste. And here in Switzerland, I met very good friends that are champagne fans, and they taught me how to do to test blind test champagnes. And this is the one that won in that competition. That
Okay, great.
We had
Thank you very
different
much.
ones. So we always have this in our house, and I wanted to give it to you so you can try it. Maybe you'll like it. And it's a small place, a family place.
Yeah.
So have you heard of this one before?
No.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's
My sommelier would know, but it's so many. But no, I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure that you've tried a lot of champagnes, and I wanted to give you
great,
something that
thank
you've
you.
never tried.
But
But thank you very much for this,
I thought
Frank.
you'd be champagne from Mexico, but
It would be great.
I went to honeymoon to Mexico.
Oh, you went to Mexico in the honeymoon? Where?
No, I went to
Cancun,
Tulum and what is Playa del Carmen? Something
yeah,
like that?
yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very long time ago.
Have you been somewhere else in Mexico or only there?
No, only that. And then, I love of course, beach are great, but I love the historical part with to visit
The ruins and all
yeah.
of that, the Mayan ruins.
that I like.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very big country,
course.
so there's a lot to see, and you went to a very nice place. But I also heard that you're not a big traveler.
But I have no time for that. I have no time for that.
Yeah.
But no, of course, I love to travel, but not as much as I wish I could. But we have some vacation.
Yeah.
When we try to travel, especially now. Now we try to go back to vacation without kids, because for us, for the last 20 years, vacation was always for kids. Now they're growing up, so we learn again to go vacation at two people, alone with my wife. So it's great because it's resting. You do whatever you want when you're only two of us.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. And are you gonna go on a break this summer?
Yeah, we close Saturday.
Saturday.
We have 4 more days. And it's
Okay.
and we close for 3 weeks on the summertime.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you right before you leave.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Are you going to travel
Well, this year I make my wife happy. We're going to the beach.
to the beach?
I'm a mountain person. If I can choose, I would only go to the mountain.
Okay.
Summer, winter, I love the cold. I love mountain. I love to be quiet. But sometimes you have to please madam,
Okay,
So,
of course, I understand. All right, well, have a nice break.
Thank
and
you
thank you
very
so
much.
much for everything. It
You're
was a
welcome.
pleasure and an honor.
thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, leave us a 5-star review, or leave us a comment. We'll read them all.